Hey Rebels, welcome back to University Speaks. I'm your co-host, Jelani Watts.
And I'm Lena Atu. With the spring semester in full gear, there's plenty to cover during this episode. So, let's get started.
A club on campus is helping make a difference locally. Our reporter, Caitlin Bustamante, has the details.
During the 2022 holiday season, UNLV student Rick Ottavalo organized a food distribution project to support people in Las Vegas experiencing food insecurity. With the help of his mom, Rick put together 40 plates of Filipino food and distributed the food to people in downtown Las Vegas. Now, Rick is joining forces with UNLV's Filipinx American Student Association for a philanthropic initiative called Project 2.
So Project 2 is structured into two parts. Part 1 is dedicated to addressing the issue of food insecurity. So the organization that I'm working with, UNLV-FOSA, is helping to gather volunteers to make trays of Filipino food to try and feed approximately 200 to 300 people. Part 2 is my contributions to Project 2, where I, as a freelancer, am donating my next $1,000 worth of earnings to two women's NGOs here in Vegas. The goal of Project 2 is to show that philanthropic initiatives are things that can be done by anyone, even by students. You don't need to have a ton of money, be super wealthy to do good work and to do work that gives back to your community. It's just a matter of being able to rally the right people, rally the support you need to do something good.
Rick plans on documenting the process with the help of UNLV's Digital Darkroom to create a medium-length documentary to show that even students can make a difference in the world of philanthropy. If you're interested in supporting Project 2, email unlvfasa@gmail.com. Reporting for University Speaks, I'm Caitlin Bustamante.
And from one club to another organization, a local sorority is helping kids get an education worldwide. Epsilon Alpha Sigma, the first and only Arab sorority in the nation, is hosting their annual Remembering the Refugees banquet on Saturday, April 1st at 6 p.m. The organization raises money to fund schools and other educational supplies for Syrian refugee children in Lebanon by highlighting Middle Eastern food, music, and dance. Admission is free to the event, but attendees are expected to donate by participating in the raffle. For more information about the event, visit their Instagram at EASUNLV.
Tax season is just around the corner, and your Rebels may be able to help you out. UNLV's Department of Accounting is offering free tax preparation services through the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program called VITA. The virtual service is running until April 15th and is IRS certified. It is available for all UNLV students, faculty, staff, and families with an annual household income of $60,000 or less. To schedule your appointment, email vita@unlv.edu. Space is limited.
A few episodes back, we brought you the story of UNLV's gym dress code. The gym recently updated their policies. Reporter Shantae Lewis has more.
The Rebel Rec staff has heard approximately 2,000 of you. The student dress code has officially been updated to suit student concerns. UNLV students, SRWC student staff, and SRWC administration have helped make the dress code more inclusive and friendly to students. The outdated 2019 dress code stated, "Clothing that exposes the midriff and or lower back is unacceptable." Thanks to student feedback, the new dress code states, "Clothing that exposes the midriff is acceptable," allowing females and males to wear sports bras with their chests covered in cropped shirts. Please clean your area when using any gym equipment to limit the spread of germs. Just remember when you're using equipment that germs can spread, and to be safe and sanitary as possible, respecting your peers and staff. If you have any concerns about anything happening at the Rebel Rec, please visit the Rebel Rec Center's front desk, or for more information, visit the Rebel Rec's website at www.unlv.edu/campusrec.
Cancer Day was earlier this month, and one kid is making a difference with his hair. Reporter Sam Reed has more.
Every day like clockwork. 12-year-old AJ Sylvia has to take care of his head of hair.
I have to brush it every time I wake up and before I go to bed.
With locks this long, the process can push your patience.
Do you enjoy doing that?
Not really.
But it's because of his end goal that these few extra minutes of getting ready are worthwhile.
I just wanted more children that have no hair to get hair.
About 4 years ago, his hair was just as long in elementary school, so he decided to chop it off and donate his 12 inches to Wigs for Kids to support those with cancer.
It made me feel really happy that I was doing something good and making someone really happy, so I decided to do it again.
With high hopes for his hair heading into middle school with what he thought would be something positive, turned into 2 years of torment and bullying.
There were days when he'd come off the school bus like crying, and it just really hurt me as his mom to see him going through that.
Some kids couldn't accept or understand why a boy would want their hair so long.
Sometime in 7th grade, I was actually considering just getting a haircut and not donating it again because of how much I was getting bullied, but I decided to keep doing it because I knew that if I did that, I would be being selfish.
Elizabeth Gagnon says it was at that moment she made a promise to her son.
And I kind of encouraged him. I'm like, baby, you're doing a really good thing. You know, like, if you stick with it, then I promise to cut my hair too.
But she couldn't keep quiet, so she posted in her local community Facebook pages about her son's ongoing efforts.
To kind of get the word out there, like, look, he's doing this for a good reason, and it would be really nice if he would stop getting teased for it.
The responses were overwhelmingly positive, as people praised him for his patience. That's when AJ decided to offer an opportunity to others to get their haircuts for free at Steph's salon, so it can be donated alongside his.
If it's a small difference, at least we're helping to make a difference in somebody's lives.
So far, 7 people have pledged to alter their appearance. AJ says choosing to wait it out is beyond worthwhile.
Why would that have been selfish?
Because I would have just been stopping the struggle for myself and forgetting about the kids who struggle every day with no hair themselves.
Showing you something good. I'm Sam Reed.
It's been 2 years since the Hey Rep mascot left UNLV. Although the popular opinion among students was that it needed to go, it left an emptiness to the university's identity. I spoke with one student who feels that our current lack of a mascot has made us stand out as a university, and not in a good way. What once was known as UNLV's iconic mascot has now become a distant memory. The Hey Rep character arrived at UNLV in 1982 after being designed by the late Mike Miller, who sold the design to the university for just $1. For nearly 40 years up until the 2020 protests following George Floyd's death, the character became symbolic of the university's identity. While many students agree that it was time for the mascot to retire due to its Confederate background, they're also agreeing on another thing. It's time for something new.
I think it's a bad look for UNLV to not have a mascot. I think all universities should have one just because it helps with school spirit. If we don't really have a mascot, I think it's harder for students to identify with their school just because there's no mascot for them to connect to.
Introducing a new mascot known as a rebel can be difficult for a variety of reasons. The term is synonymous with a human being, and that may be exactly what UNLV is trying to stay away from. The university could find a non-human mascot with a rebellious character, or they could go for a full rebrand.
One thing that I've thought about before is our mascot being a roadrunner, just because it's an animal that's actually found here in Las Vegas, and I think it's a bit of an iconic character from the cartoon, and I just think it would be a cool mascot. Maybe like a mountain lion or something like that. I think it should be something that is here in the Nevada wildlife. I'm not too fond of human mascots, so I think it should be wildlife.
One thing is for certain, and it's that silence won't lead to a resolution. The lack of a mascot is something that will eventually need to be addressed by the university administration, as it creates a sense of transparency for the university community. With conversations continuing to rise regarding this issue, it's very possible that transparency will be their only option. This is Jelani Watts, signing off for University Speaks.
And in sports lately, in Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium will be seeing some upgrades in the coming months before the big game hits the field. Upgrades to the surrounding roads and digital elements to the roads to direct traffic during the game, all in an effort to provide a better game day experience. The Oakland Athletics are continuing to have sites aimed at Las Vegas for relocation. A's ownership groups are eyeing multiple locations for the A's stadium and have been meeting with hotel officials to determine the feasibility of a ballpark in different areas. And another development in Las Vegas sports world coming out of this morning. Las Vegas is continuing their push for expansion. The MLS Associated Press reporting that a decision on the 30th MLS team is coming this year. Las Vegas has been pushing to be a part of the MLS since 2014, however has been hindered by a lack of a stadium since then. The other city in competition for the bid is San Diego. The MLS season kicks off this Saturday.
A new Marvel experience is in the works at Disneyland. California Adventure announced a new musical coming to the park called Rogers, the Musical. The musical first appeared as a play in the Disney Plus series Hawkeye, and now it is becoming a reality. The one-act musical is a timeless story about Captain America. More information about the musical will be available soon.
Now, Jelani, I personally love Marvel. I've watched almost all the movies. I've watched Hawkeye, so I know what this musical's about. And once I found out about this, I literally texted my sister, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're making a musical out of it. Are you excited about it?
I am a little bit. I went to a performing arts high school out here, so I'm familiar with musicals and everything. I love the spectacle about it. Marvel, I'm not like a huge fan, but I do like some Marvel content.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see how they mesh it. I think Marvel and musical together kind of, not something I would think of, but
Yeah.
it might work. It might work.
It's interesting because it's in the series, so seeing it come to life after it was mentioned in the series is pretty interesting. But you're right, having something like Marvel and musicals together is a little strange.
Yeah, I think the audiences are a little different, but they might work together.
Yes. And Vegas weather has been a little funky recently. Over the weekend, parts of the valley got to see some flurries. We're currently taking a look at footage from my mom and my sister. Other parts of Vegas also reported small pellets or hail falling in several different neighborhoods. Did you get any snow? Let us know on Instagram and Twitter at UNIV speaks UNLV.
Just 4 hours away, in the same week the Las Vegas Valley received their dusting of snow. Los Angeles did as well. The snow collecting near the Hollywood sign, a part of the first blizzard warning since 1989, in the City of Angels, a truly remarkable time for the West Coast receiving that much snow, let alone the iconic Hollywood sign getting a light coating as well.
And finally, to wrap up the winter weather coverage, puppy play time in the snow. This is in Minnesota after a snowstorm dropped some flakes down on the ground, allowing for some of these dogs to have some fun. Look how cute they are. They look so adorable and so happy to be in the snow.
National Geographic's Photo of the Year winners were recently announced. Jeremy Roth has more.
Take a look at this stunning set of wildlife photographs that National Geographic have crowned 2022's Best of the Best. Photographers the world over submitted works to Nat Geo's Pictures of the Year contest, and the slate of finalists is a medley of amazing landscapes, such as this aerial and seemingly arterial look at a branching California marshland, peeks at Mother Nature at her most serene and most extreme, and revealing looks at both human and animal civilizations and where they impressively and inexplicably intersect. But the overall grand prize winner was an incredible mid-flight moment, capturing a convocation of majestic bald eagles jockeying for prime perch position near an Alaskan shoreline. You can view the full suite of finalists and other submissions by visiting natgeo.com/photocontestwinner. Speaking of artistic statements, is that what this weird giant iron ball found on a Japanese beach is? That was likely one of the many questions on onlookers' minds after the mysterious metal sphere inexplicably washed ashore near Hamamatsu City. Other questions likely included, where did it come from? Is there something inside it? And will it blow up? Well, after examining the object, officials confirmed that the bizarre ball is hollow and doesn't pose a threat, but still couldn't pin down exactly what it is or where it came from. The heavy metal mystery continues. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And before we let you go, a surprise discovery just outside of our solar system. NASA discovered what you're seeing on screen. It is called a forbidden planet, and due to its size and location near our solar system. Researchers estimated that the planet is around the size of Jupiter and sits 280 light years away. This discovery now bringing questions to previous theories on how planets are formed. NASA is now observing the planet with James Webb Telescope.
That's a wrap for the 4th episode of our 3rd season of University Speaks.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.